Alright, gives a shot. Right, 2016 KTM 1290, and that's smooth. Oh, you really have to go at this fucking gear shifter, don't you? Alright, first impressions. I mean, my only frame of reference for a bike like this is the GS previously, and this would be KTM's sort of GS killer. I think it's a twin as well, and a 1290. It's more powerful than the GS. I think it's 150, 160 horsepower as opposed to the 125. And it is kind of a big ignorant wide yoke, which is fine. I'll deal with that. And in terms of pickup, it certainly has the beatings of my bike, the RS. Already I can tell, just when you twist it, the power is there. It's not torquey power like in the RS or the GS, I suppose, but it's just power and speed behind what you're telling the bike to do. I haven't really flicked it around any curves yet. It doesn't feel, it feels in the same ballpark but not as planted as the sort of boxers, the GS and the RS, but again, I haven't ridden a GS in over a year, so who knows. Okay, sport mode, whatever the fuck that means. Dampening, also sport mode. Okay, sport. Right, I've now put it into sport mode. Ooh, does it feel any more like sports? Yes, it does a bit. And so this is definitely a gives a shot rather than a proper test ride. I'm out with on two wheels with Grahamo, who is fantastically annoyed at his S1000 Aurora at the moment, and so he's looking for a replacement out of pure spite, which he might forget all about at some point, but no, he wants a 1290, a KTM 1290 to do tours and shit on, and I said, can I go too? And so I came too. Other immediate impressions is that, like, I'm out here and this is just purely a me thing. Okay, well it stops well. This is purely a me thing, but the windscreen appears to be not great, just for my particular tallitude. Because, oh, here we go. Because it's got this little sort of a grill there, see it there, which is a vent, which is letting air directly onto my face and neck. So it seems not designed for people of my particular stature. You can probably hear on the video audio is that I'm getting fucking blown out of it here. So we'll see. It's certainly fairly fast. Pretty fast, I suppose. Reasonably fast. With fastness. Just flicking around this thing. And yeah, it's got the, what I remember of having the big wide bars on the GS is that you can just kind of turn the bars to flick the bike around, which I do miss on the RS. The RS isn't as able to do that because it's got the turned in bars. One thing that also suits me is that I tend to ride with my legs sort of spread out like this, and this bike just ergonomically sort of fits that style of riding. Like I'm not hanging out for dear life onto the bike with my knees or with my legs, and so having a big wide fucking tank on a bike suits me, so this is good. Scores for this bike. The other thing is, which is encouraging for a bike like this, is it doesn't feel like you're going as fast as you're going. Obviously you keep an eye on your speed and you see what the story is, but you know, I'm going at just below the speed limit right now, and I look down and I go, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going that fast. And it's something I remember from other big adventure bikes like the GS, where it's like, it's just going fast. You know, you're not as exposed to the elements, you're not as feeling everything through the bike. you're just going at a reasonable speed and it doesn't feel like much. And I can already tell just from sitting on this bike, I've only been on it 10-15 minutes, I can already tell just by sitting on this bike, it's one of those bikes you can just sort of sit on all day and it doesn't really affect you. The vibrations are, it's a little bit vibrationy, you know, you'd have to ride it for a couple of hours to figure out if it's bad, but yeah. The gear shifter I'd have to adjust, I have to lift my foot to get it to gear shifter nearly. These are my small problems. Oh yeah, this is good. Getting around this is like, you just turn the bars. You just turn the bars and hang out of them and you're fucking grand. Up off you.